Joining us today on Pirate Radio Live now, former East Carolina offensive lineman Parker Moorer joining us. And Parker, always weird when we're covering you guys, and then we have to say former for the first time. But how does that feel? No spring ball for you. Moving on to a new chapter in your life.
Yeah, I definitely say it was a change in my life that I'm not used to. Being a part of the boys, being a part of the grind with your teammates. Uh, you know, just being there for the first day of spring ball, seeing those boys practice, it made me miss it. But that weather at the same time was a little rough, so it was like I'm gonna enjoy what I'm doing right now. So
There you go. And you'll be working with a new team coming up very soon. Let's talk about the big news. Parker Moore signing or getting the invite to Giants minicamp. So Parker, what was your Saturday like last Saturday? As far as getting calls from your agent, maybe talking to teams, can you kind of go through that day with us? And how did the big news come with the Giants there?
my agent and I talked earlier in the week, and we had talked to a couple teams, but he said specifically it was going to be the Giants that are probably going to reach out. And I wasn't really sure because during the process, I didn't really get a lot of communication with teams and things like that. A couple teams here and there, but nothing too consistent or crazy. So I was just, anxious on that last day. Didn't know what was going to happen. And then right before like the end of the seventh round, my agent called me and he was like, "The Giants are going to hit you up." And I got on the video game. And I'm like, man, I'm just going to sit here and see what happens and wait it out. And I'm playing the game, and my agent calls me, and I was like, I almost cried, but it was like, bro, I was so excited. I just all I needed was an opportunity. So, went to my parents and my brother who was home at the time, and celebrated with them for a little bit. My pops was crying, so it was a good experience to feel that.
That's awesome, man. We're very happy for you and your family as well. When did it become a dream, Parker, to play football at the highest level? When did you know that that's something you wanted to do, and when did you realize, okay, I have a real shot to do this?
I'd say from the beginning, honestly. I mean, I've been playing football since I was 5 years old, and seeing guys on TV, you want to be like them. And then the first goal was to play football, college football, at the Division 1 level, which I achieved. And then, as I started to work towards becoming a better player, a better offensive lineman, that dream wanted to become fulfilled. So,
When's the last time, Parker, you played organized football where you had the ball in your hands? Have you always been a lineman, or did you used to tote the rock or anything?
uh, nah, I've always been in the trenches, but I had a couple tight end reps when I was in little league. So,
Okay, there
yeah.
you go. You don't mind getting dirty though, getting physical. You like that part of it?
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of playing in the trenches. That's the whole thing about it.
As a Washington fan, way back in the day, before your time, they had the Hogs when they won their Super Bowls with
Hmm.
some great offensive lines.
Oh
Chris
yeah.
Samuels was a great player for us in the 2000s, and of course, Washington drafted Trent Williams. He is still getting it done at the highest level
Oh yeah.
with the Niners. So those are some of my personal favorites. Who did you kind of model your game after? Who did you enjoy watching, and do you admire from afar?
No, I don't have the freak ability that Trent Williams has, but as far as like technique and athleticism, I feel like I favor a lot of what he does on the field as far as manipulating D linemen with blocks and things like that. As far as technicians, I like to watch new Commander Laramie Tunsil,
Yeah.
uh, him, Lane Johnson, Panay Sewell, and try to learn from the best.
Yeah, how about the technique part of it? When you're coming up, Parker, you can get by probably on your size and strength, right? But how
Yeah.
about when you have to kind of get in the lab and work on your feet and all that stuff? How tough was that to get, and how much of that game have you kind of added to your own repertoire?
I just say reps. Just in high school, like you said, it was easy to be bigger and stronger than everybody, and not have the best technique and beat an opponent. And when I got to college, like you learn real fast. It's like phew, these guys are some dogs. Like you can't just sit here and be a big bully anymore. There's a bunch of those now. So you have to learn. Off season is very important. And with me, I like to watch. I'm a visual guy, so I'll sit there and watch film all day, and then I'll go out there and practice during the week and try to replicate. Okay, if this guy does this, how can I beat this? Or how can I perfect something I've been working at from the beginning, like footwork, pass protection, hand placement, things like that.
Parker, when do you head up to New York? What's the timeline look like for you?
So it'll be Friday the 8th, I believe, and then come back on the 10th.
All right, and again, you said foot in the door. You get that opportunity. We've kind of chronicled Rajay's path to where he is. We talk to him every week, and every day I say, "Hey, what's up, Rajay?" And he said, "Working out." That's the 9 to 5 for him right now. Has that been the same for you, Parker? Just staying in the best possible shape you can.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, shoot, literally that first day after the call, I was working out, so it doesn't stop.
Yeah. I'm wearing my Frankie Louvu shirt today, a guy you could be blocking. I didn't mean to. We'll do a little Washington New York rivalry here, but Parker, coming up, Charlotte guy. You were you a Panthers fan? Did you have a NFL team you followed?
Oh yeah, the Panthers, of course, and Frankie Louvu is actually one of my recent favorites from the Panthers. I wish they got to
Yeah,
keep. You guys got a dog with him, and he's a great player.
yeah. He's an absolute monster. How have you talked? Who have you talked to from the Giants? You said you got the news, of course, from your agent and everything. Have you communicated with anybody up there? Coaches, play scouts, anybody?
Just some of the scouts up there. Talked to them, and one of the player personnel guys talked to him as well. One of my teammates at West Virginia, who's also from the state of North Carolina, Bryce Ford Wheaton. I didn't get to reach out to him yet. I know he's probably busy, dealing with their workouts and things like that. But he's also with the Giants, so I'll probably get in touch with him soon.
Good deal. Parker, ups and downs during your East Carolina football career ends on a major up with the bowl win over NC State. Hoping to talk to your buddy Dustin Hall. He's going to get an opportunity with the Raiders, but was happy for him to end his career on a bowl victory. I think he said that was his first bowl game, so he was fired up
Yep.
for it. But how about you, Parker? You put some blood, sweat, and tears on the field out there at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium. What was it like to end your career on a high like that?
It's a book story, and I told my parents, my brother, this all the time. Like what I went through in my college career, and then what we went through in that last season with all the
Yeah.
controversy and things like that. It's something you could write and be a bestseller. So, it's always in my memory. And we were just watching the bowl game last night, just reminiscing on the moments and things like that. So it was pretty exciting to go over that with the family and get some good laughs in.
A lot of probably a lot of different answers for this, Parker. But could you put your finger on why the switch kind of flipped? They had the coaching change that kind of was in conjunction with Caden Hauser going in at quarterback. So there was a couple of changes there. But what kind of led to the second half run last year for you guys?
I honestly feel like we had nothing else. I mean, we had nothing to lose, I should say. I mean, we already had, Coach Houston be gone and things like that. So we had all we had was each other. I mean, that's all we played for. So
And man, it was a lot of fun following y'all during that part of the season. Parker, what does the future of the tackle and the offensive line position look like for East Carolina? How about some guys that were behind you that will be kind of maybe the new stars?
see, Jamarion moved over to the left. He didn't want to listen to me when we had that conversation. I said, "You ready for it?" And he's from what I saw, he looked pretty good and things like that. And I don't know. I didn't really pay attention much to the right side of the offensive line just because I know Bryce was there in the beginning and he moved inside.
Yeah.
Jamarion, I know. I've been working with him since he came in the door. So
And that's part of it too. Moving around, you guys have to be pretty versatile, right? As linemen, that your spots at tackle, but they might need you at guard. A guy goes down, hell, you might snap the ball. So you got to kind of always be ready, right?
oh yeah, most definitely. And then that's what I'm trying to do right now. Like right now, I'm doing offensive line training after my late weightlifting sessions, and I'm working guard, I'm working tackle, I'm working left, I'm working right, trying to be as flexible as I can.
Us outsiders, Parker, like when you get a new offensive coordinator, John David Baker, we think, all right, that affects the quarterback and the passing game. We don't really think about you offensive linemen. Is it terminology different? Is the scheme different? Like, what changes when you bring in a new OC for linemen like yourself?
I would say the terminology is different, of course. The footwork was different, like the techniques that we had to use offensive line wise, but it was in our favor. They kept it simple. It was very easy to learn and things like that, and it was able to. We were able to see clips of like what their offense at Ole Miss did, and you see D linemen and linebackers, bent over on their knees, and it's exciting to see when those guys are tired and you're still able to finish them, things like that.
Absolutely. And the Pirates finished off their last game against NC State with the running game, a long run from Rajay. Parker Moorer joining us today, heading up to New York for Giants rookie minicamp. Parker, we're excited for you, man. Congratulations. We'll certainly we'll be pulling for you down here in Greenville, but good luck, and we'll talk again down the road. Appreciate you joining us today, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys having me.